There we go. All right.
Good.
We're back. Another pregame show. Virginia Tech. UVA coming off. Actually, both programs coming off wins in Florida. We beat Miami, somehow put up 82 points
82.
without Elijah Saunders or Andrew Rohde.
Right.
And Virginia Tech beat Florida State on the road. So both of them coming off wins. I think we're favored by 4.5 today, but what are your
I
thoughts
saw
on the
somebody
game?
said we were favored. I didn't see what the out by how many.
Yeah, I think it's
So
4.5. But what are your thoughts on the game?
yeah, I mean, big rival. It's a big fan rival, which we've always talked about. Every fan lives and dies for this one. Football mostly, but also in basketball. Hopefully, we'll pack JPJ, make a difference, and get some follow through with the shooting. The way we talk about Tane, who we love, and IMAC, obviously shooting the ball so well down there. And I looked at Virginia Tech's roster. TW. I don't know one player.
It's
Like
crazy,
I don't
right?
recognize anybody. I think Mike Brown. That's Mike Young. I know. I think he got his 400th win, which is a big deal for any
Is he in
coach.
the hot seat?
I think Virginia fans always like to say that stuff. I don't know. I don't like it's like us. Like what's your alternative? I think he's a really good coach. He's known more for his offense and his defense. He's probably pretty fun to play for. I saw all his players calling in and congratulating him and all that, and it seemed like they liked the guy a lot.
They're sitting at 9-12.
Yeah,
We're 10-11, so kind of similar season so far. They've had more wins in the ACC though. They won at Cal. They beat, they're but still not great.
right.
I think
So
expectations are definitely higher. So yeah, we're getting Rhodey back. It looks like he's laced up from what I can tell. He's got a little leg compression sleeve, but he looks like he's going to play. Do you think that changes anything based on how we played at Miami without him?
we think Rhodey's going to play. I'm sorry, Ty was telling me
Yeah.
there's going to be a solar eclipse in March of 25. If anybody isn't aware of that, sorry.
Oh,
Rhodey's
nice.
playing.
Rhodey is playing.
Yeah, it's a whole question of when when you're injured and you full on sit out a game, like that's injured, right? I think so. Coming back, did he miraculously recover? I don't know. Was it not that bad, and they thought we could go in Miami without him? Hopefully he's back. He's fully back. Sharma, who probably got me sick. No big deal, Sharma. You warned me. He was sick, and he was still sick at Miami, but still, made the big free throws. Hopefully, at their age and stuff, he's probably through that now. Yeah, we'll see. Road is a different dynamic, right? We talk about the way he attacks and sets up the offense. Sometimes, in my opinion, to a fault. You went with no no point guard outside of like maybe Day in Miami. And those guys kind of ran it by committee, and we
Yeah.
scored a lot of points. So.
I mean, we put up 82 against Miami. I know Miami's having a really down year, but
Yeah,
still 82 points. That's impressive.
yeah, you still
I'm
gotta do
actually
it no
at
matter how bad the D is, right?
26. I think he had 6 threes, and then Tane had 20.
Tane's our guy. Let's hope Tane can. I wonder who's going to start. I wonder if he'll stay with Tane and bring Rhodey off the bench, or whatever. I don't even remember what the lineup was. I think I do. But does Rhodey just plug and play back into the starting lineup, or do they just bring him off the bench and see if he's nursing that thing or if he's 100% ready to go? I think you froze, TW. What's up, Jen? Jen Clifton, always in the house.
There we go. I'm back. Yes, shout out Jen for always tuning in. No, what are we expecting today? What do you think? We're going to come out of the gates firing, or
I don't see any reason not to. I wasn't in practice. I don't know what the focus is, and I don't know anything about Virginia Tech this season. We knew them so well the past 4 years. The guys from Wofford that came and the other transfers in, et cetera, and kind of played. They played that cool offense off the bigs. I'm sure they still do that. I don't know if they have the firing power of was it Couture and Padula and maybe some others. I'm not even sure. So I don't know. It looks like it's a nice day in Charlottesville. Probably favors us. Hopefully JPJ gets packed and they don't remember the Notre Dame game down there as well, and we can go out. We can come out rolling.
Yeah, this is an interesting stretch right here. If we can get this win, and then we've got Georgia Tech with TB's game,
Yep.
and then yeah, we'll see what's happening here. Like maybe we can go on a little run here, turn it around.
If there's a time to do it, it's now. We wish we could have sneaked that Notre Dame game in, which didn't go very well at all. And that would have kind of, like you said, a lot of momentum. When you win, it's like making a shot when you miss a bunch of shots. You see one go in, you win one. We sort of figured out how to win. Nothing easy, obviously, for us. But maybe we got a couple things figured out on the play from the players. I mean, mostly.
When you're going on a slide like this, how do you stay focused?
I mean, it's individuals at this point. It's not, having a team meeting or whatever. You got to look at yourself. If you're not playing good offensively, you concentrate on your defense, and the rest will come. But you kind of got to figure out, guys are going to who's going to get minutes. Guys that are going to get minutes need to figure out what to do with those minutes. Like, we talk about Kofi, who's been so good at times and has got so much potential. If I were him, I would just be working on my offensive game every game. He's not coming out unless he fouls.
Right, right.
Catch it at the top of the key, square up, maybe go, take those open shots when he can, when he's open and stuff like that, for an example.
There is something to playing through minutes. I know Rhodey and Elijah were out, but it seemed like other people played with more freedom because of that. Is that true?
I think it's true. I mean, it's a huge deal. I actually think it's Elijah's dad on Twitter, but I don't know him, so I can't speak for him. He put up a thing about Tane, all the highlights, and he's like, it's amazing what you can do sometimes in basketball when you're not looking over your shoulder, which is a nice thing. Tane has looked over his shoulder for 4 years, we feel like, right? Now,
Right.
at some point, that's his fault, but that's neither here nor there. Tane was going to be a big-time part of that game, and he wants to win, as we know, and he's do everything he could do to win. And so he took the spotlight a little bit and did his thing.
Yeah, 20 points. I mean, that's huge.
Yeah, 20, 10 and 10, 10 in the first half, 10 in the second half.
Yeah,
Some
he
great
came out
drives.
of the gate, he hit a three and a layup, and then he really got it going. So love to see it. Let's hope he can keep it up.
Absolutely.
And then
I think
go ahead.
No, this from the coaches is interesting because you just won a game. Then you have Rhodey back, who's definitely a starter. Is Saunders back or not? I don't know.
I don't think I've seen anything on Saunders.
So do they go back to the OG starting lineup, or do they say, let's just start the way we did at Miami? We have Rhodey as a weapon who can substitute any of three guys, that type of thing, and go that way? Or do they just go back to what was before? I hope they stay with the Miami starting lineup no matter what. Stay with what won the game and then make adjustments as the game goes on today.
Looks like Saunders is in street clothes. So
that's not good. Hopefully he's not bad.
Yeah, he's still in a boot and in street clothes. So it looks like we've got Rhodey back, and so we'll see. We'll see what the rotation looks like.
That's right. Where's everybody today? Everybody's busy on a Saturday, I guess. We got Jen, obviously. We got nobody's tuning in. Let's hope. Hopefully, they're all in U-Haul. They're all in JPJ, getting ready for this game.
Yeah, I don't know. I think interest has really waned on. We've been spoiled with TB winning all the time, and maybe that a lot of people feel like there's nothing to play for when you're not in the hunt for a tournament or anything. So maybe a lot of people have tuned out and just kind of moved on. I don't know.
Yeah, I've always thought, and I don't think it's changed except for when we're rolling, and it's like the best show on in Central Virginia. You Virginia fans can be a little fickle. Like, I have better things to do with my Saturday afternoon. What are we, February 1st? And so what's the use of getting to the arena and dealing with that stuff? But I don't know, if you're down there, me and you would love to be there. So
yeah, to me, it's still incredible experience. I hope the players and the staff feel that way. It's like still amazing opportunity to represent UVA and play and all of that. Like I can't imagine taking this stuff for granted, but who knows?
Yeah, but I mean, if you're in college and you're playing basketball and you can't be excited about that, then I don't really have, much what I would like excuses for you, but I think the guys are. I know they've been working hard. I know they'll continue to work hard. I know the coaching staff is. So if you can't be excited about a Saturday game in the ACC at home, February 1st, as I said.
Do you know the Saunders injury at all? Have they said?
Somebody said a high ankle sprain, but I could have dreamed that and made that up, so I don't know anything about it.
And then Kim Wright said somebody's in their seats. So
there you go, Kim. That's the best.
If you can't make it, that's the best way to be.
I will say
we
I
always
know
get tickets and we get them out. So
I talked to Ronnie Weidman, not text him, and I think I'm allowed to say this. Virginia men's basketball is hosting. He said 40 patients, kids who are patients in the Charlottesville hospital today.
Very cool.
That's pretty cool.
That's really cool.
Yeah, and he said 40. I'm pretty sure that's what he said. So that's a pretty cool thing.
Bill, I was hoping Nav would be on wearing his best tech tee.
Yeah, I think Hav would too.
He's in a volleyball tournament, unfortunately.
Yeah, he's in kids volleyball.
I think his Little May tournament.
May.
WFSU.
Poop emoji for VPI. That's right. That's. I think you'd like to give him a worse emoji, but that's okay. We'll stay with the poop emoji.
So, what's your prediction for this game first? Let's hear it.
I will say he came to me early. I think it's going to be 64-60 Virginia. I don't know why. I thought about it before the thing. I'm not sure what the over/under and all that stuff is. There's Ryan.
Here we go from our guy Ryan Garca. Throwback UVA versus Tech memory for you.
I'm trying to think. I think we were 2-2 in my time because they weren't in conference, so we played on home and away, sometimes neutral. My last year actually we were really good. They weren't very good. And I'll tell you the biggest throwback was we were on a roll. We were playing well. We go to the Richmond Coliseum and they beat us. And there was no, I would guess back then, like the line was probably us to win by 8 or something. And they beat us. But I did in that game, Ryan, I suckered one of the Virginia Tech guys into a technical foul, no pun intended. So I grabbed him and he threw an elbow at me or whatever. So I got to shoot 2 free throws. And the best memory now, my buddy Sandy Shank, SS, he actually put it on Twitter today. He was one of the student photographers for the newspaper, and he took a really cool picture, which looks like I'm about 4 feet off the ground, which is really probably 4 inches, doing a reverse layup. And so I can still look back at that picture. But we lost, so that sucked.
Lightning Fisher with the question. Rhodey is playing, Saunders is not. So if you haven't seen, Saunders is still in a boot. He's not dressed today. Thomas pattern until new coach comes along. Hensky.
Yeah.
Orange vertical tops.
Only 3/4 inches higher than yours, T-Ski, but that's neither here nor there for the two of us, right? There's really no difference at this point.
Perhaps Blake and Kofi together from Preston.
What's up, Prescott? The most positive Virginia fan out there. Never nothing negative ever. I'm bad at this, and we talk about this all the time. I don't recognize these things very well. I love A-Rob coming in and trying to just absolutely rip the entire basket down on dunks and that type of thing. So I'll try to pay attention more, my man Prescott, but I'll see. I think if Blake ends up transferring, I hope he doesn't, he should transfer to a school in Florida because he plays great in that state. That's for sure. Don't transfer, Blake. I'm kidding.
Yeah, like this. Doug wore those platform shoes around grounds to try to increase his vertical.
And it worked
I
until I
remember
had knee
those.
surgery.
East Bay had them.
Yeah. Did I wear them around grounds, TC? That's a good try. I think I did them in
What were they
U-Ball.
called?
I think they're called platform
What were
shoes,
those
just the way
called?
TC said it. Jump shoes or something?
Okay,
The worst part is after my
vertical
first
jump
year,
or
I was
something.
regularly dunking, and then I ripped my knee probably because of those things. So, I'm
Oh,
trying to
really?
claw back
Yeah,
in
I
NIL
can't
and
imagine.
injuries.
Yeah, I
I
can't
like it,
imagine
Chris. I'll bet you're
the
going to be right. I think Chris is probably right.
73, 62. I love it. I love it. I mean, if we could put up 70 something, I like our chances.
Yeah. I mean, I think Tech just because I've seen it with their coach having 400 wins, that's kind of a cool thing for them. Maybe it's, they get behind him because of that a little bit where, we can sort of argue right or wrong that our players may or may not be 1,000% behind the staff because they called him an interim coach and not their real coaches. So that's there's a subconscious kind of dynamic there. And to your point, if Mike is on the hot seat, his guys probably don't want him to be on the hot seat.
Yeah, I can't. It's hard to gauge now, right? Because I bet if you're transferring into a school, it's not like you have some crazy passion for the program. So,
Yeah.
all of this stuff is weird, right? Because I wonder like how bought in everyone is at this point when it's NIL
Yeah.
and transfers.
That's right. And Ron's seat doesn't even have a temperature, which is just don't get me started on that. But that's just kind of the fact, right? He's just there. But I know what we've talked about at the staff. Ron in particular, they're working. They want the best for these kids. So
Yeah, I mean,
better
my
than me.
take is always they're everything that's right about college basketball. We would love them, but everybody wants to win now, right? So that's the nature of the beast. I don't know how we're going to do better in terms of people. Like these guys care. They love the guys. They're doing it for the right reasons, and they want them to get better. But you got to win. So it's tough, and you got to win now. You can't even have this weird season here. But interim doesn't help. We've talked about it. Like
Yep.
it's not a ton of
Does nobody
confidence.
any favors.
Yeah, the interim either stand by him and give him a contract, or like having the sitting duck as interim makes it really hard, right? Because then I don't know. It's hard to tell, but I can imagine it'd be easy for a player to be like, "Who are you? You're an interim. Don't tell me what to do." Like when times are tough,
Right.
like your mind's gonna go there. Like
Yep.
I don't think that's the case, but like you could easily see it happening, and that's unfair to everybody.
I wish I
Thank you for
wish I wish some players would have a little bit of that in terms of I'm just going to go play. And I think we saw it in Miami a little bit. Like I'm just
yeah.
going to play. I'm not not looking over my shoulder. Not this. We're just going to play. And I think the staff will open up to that as well and let them go.
Yeah, I mean,
I
these
hope.
guys, they're all new to this role, so they're learning as well. So I'm in the mode of being very patient. I hope he gets this job. I hope he turns it around and lands the job. I don't know how we get better. Um, like bringing somebody in, some hired gun that's going to turn it around in one season. It just seems unlikely, right? Like I don't.
Yeah. Yep.
I'd rather have somebody with a vision and experience from a long term standpoint.
Totally agree. We're in the minority,
But
TW.
yeah, we are. I know everybody wants to win now. Phil Jackson. I don't know what people think. Like, go get Phil Jackson, Red Hour back. Bring him back from.
We're out.
I
We're
don't
back.
know. No, but we'll see. Like this is where we are. If so, it's a different time. I hear Shaka Smart's name a lot. Just I don't get it, but we'll see.
Yeah, I don't. I've been told no chance, but supposedly back in the day, he said Virginia was his dream job. Does that dream go away? Probably not. In the back of his mind, and you got to assume that the guy that if somebody like him comes in, he's going to have a full slate, right? Like, sort of do whatever you want. to an extent, and probably
Right.
good NIL and stuff like that. So,
Right.
I think we'd all like to have him. I just don't think it's going to
Like
happen.
what do you think could turn it around for Sanchi and the crew? What do you think would do it? Like win the ACC tournament?
I've always said it. We have a lot of parts. These injuries are not helping. Elijah Saunders being out's not good. Rhodey being out last game's not good. I just think we have a lot of we have a lot of working parts, but those parts haven't figured out how to work together very well, or really well yet. Maybe in Miami we saw it. I think some of that's on the coaching staff. We've seen times where somebody's playing really well and some kind of a weird substitution happens. I very rarely question substitution because I don't. But I guess like Sharma came out of one game and we were winning and then we missed a free throw or something, so maybe he should have stayed in. Whatever. Or Kofi's going off and he gets a foul and he comes out or come out for a defense. I think at this part of the season we're past the jerk somebody for a missed rotation type thing, right? Unless it's like 3 in a row.
Right.
And you're just getting cooked. You gotta play through these guys a little bit. And I think they recognize it. I hope they do. Doesn't mean I'm right.
Down Cherry Hill. Feel like we're seeing more side action against Miami. What do you think?
Yeah, I still don't know what sides is. I think it's blocker mover. I'm really bad at this stuff, guys. I watched the game. I watched little more. I don't know what the word's intricate, but like more of that stuff. Like how much are we passing around the perimeter without attacking? How much are we retreat dribbling back? How are we using screens? You saw Isaac made some great flashes on his own, unplanned off the screens when Tane found him in the corner, for example. He's done it a few times. So I guess, people talk about blocker mover at the right time, I guess. And maybe if the team figures it out. I just don't really know so well what blocker mover is. I'm sorry.
See, yeah, it seems like it's hard to tell when you're watching the game what the plan is. You could kind of see where things plan out, but you don't know where everyone's supposed to be. That's the hard part from where we are, right? Something could happen by accident and it looks like it's planned and we don't know that. But yeah,
Right.
that's the
Exactly.
hard part, right? Like, oh yeah, that looked great, but it was totally by accident. Cavalier Connection, they're going to join us post game. Who's 71-65? All right, let's go.
Big Virginia fans.
If we can get 70, I feel like we can get this game.
Yeah, I would think. I mean, again, Mike is it Young or Brown? Mike Young. He's known for his offense. Does that mean they push it against us? Does they have a plan? And again, I don't know how deep they are. I know nothing about Tech. I'm sorry, guys. If anybody has anything to add, are they deep? Will they pressure? Will they do anything tricky against us? Because we're still pretty easy to plan for. And that's kind of the thing that doesn't worry me, but that's kind of our Achilles heel. And TW just went ghost. That's cool, Cavalier Connection. We'll have you guys on the post. I know you're going to do something collaborating with TW. What? You disappeared for a minute, I think.
Yeah, my signal's weak. I'm going to go to the other room for post game, but I think we'll wrap it up. Anything else to add, Fresh?
I got nothing.
See you guys we'll do post game. Yeah, let's go Who's. We'll see you after the game with the Cavalier Connection guys.
Go Who's.
Peace out.
Peace.